Hi, and welcome to The Bright Balloon, a podcast where I'm sharing bright ideas for your balloon business. My name is Sarah Meyer, and I'm a balloon business owner like you, and I love the creative side of what I do, but I really love the business side, which seems to be the part where most people struggle. So I'm here to help. Each week, I'm bringing you an episode full of bite-sized tips you can use to make improvements in your business. I want you to make more money, eliminate stress, and learn along with me as we grow our creative businesses together. Welcome to The Bright Balloon, presented by 17 Hats. In today's Ask Me Anything episode, I'm joined once again by Brianna Silvio, who is this month's curated sponsor. She has chosen a lineup of guests, including herself, and today we are getting nosy. We both asked our Instagram audiences for any questions, and Bri and I are going to answer them all. So we're talking about everything from hiring to growth to mistakes to organization. It's a great episode. Rapid fire questions, rapid fire responses. I think you're going to love it. In case you have missed this month's episodes thus far, let me take a second to introduce you to Bri, who is our March curated sponsor. She is the driving force behind Elevated Impressions in Cape Cod, Massachusetts, and now she is the owner and the founder of BWise Consulting, ready to launch her first small business focused product. She has been in business since 2019. She started in her home basement, and she has not only elevated thousands of events since then, but she has grown into a larger space that we're talking about in today's episode. And she has a dedicated team of full-time and seasonal staff. Her passion for creating efficient systems and her commitment to community involvement has made her a respected leader and philanthropist in her field. But that's not all. She's also earned multiple awards and accolades, including the Spirit of ILEA Award, the SCORE Small Business Excellence Award, and she is a sought-after speaker and educator, speaking at the Batalic Balloonathon and Balloon Boss Summit, just to name a few. Join us as we dive into Bri's incredible story, her insights on entrepreneurship, and her unwavering dedication to uplifting her community, including you guys, including the balloon industry. Real quick, this is not in Bri's intro, but I thought I would share this. A couple months ago, Bri called me and she was like, hey, is it weird if I sponsor a month? And I was like, I don't know, because originally I thought these sponsored months, actually the rest of the year, these months are all sponsored by manufacturers. That was kind of my thought, like the big guys, right? Like they were going to sponsor the podcast and make it free for all of you. I never thought that another balloon business owner would want to sponsor a month, but that's what Bri said. And I was like, well, why? Like, why do you want to do this? And she was like, well, I just think that the podcast gives so much back to the industry, and I would just want to be part of that. And I just thought that was really great. And it just is the type of person that Bri is. She wants to give back. She enjoys educating. She enjoys supporting the industry. And it's been so nice having her on this month. So without further ado, let's head to the UGlu Hotline for some great advice that sticks. And then let's get nosy and ask Bri some of your burning questions. Welcome to the UGlu Hotline, where we discuss great advice that sticks. Brought to you by Pro Tapes. If you have a question or some great advice to share, click the link in the show notes to call in and leave a voicemail.
Hi, Sarah. My name is Laura Welsh. I am the owner of LWP Balloon Creations, and I'm located just outside of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I've been ballooning for just over a year. I'm a full-time photographer and a mom of three, so it's kind of like my side hustle, even though it's a real business. So I am a huge, huge fan of your podcast. I love how relatable you are and easy to listen to. But I'm calling you with a tip of the day for the balloon stuffers out there. So whenever you stuff your balloons in like a balloon machine, like a Balloonsy or anything, there's a top rim that you put the neck of your balloon around. And sometimes if you have longer nails or even if you don't, sometimes it's just difficult to get the neck of the balloon off after you have finished stuffing it. So my tip of the day is to put a piece of tape around the outside rim of the Balloonsy. So you put it from the inside to the outside, and that way when you're all finished, you just kind of lift it up, and that piece of the balloon pops up, and you can just easily maneuver the rest around. Yep. So that's my tip of the day, and I appreciate you listening. Thanks.
Pro Tapes is a leading manufacturer of specialty tape products like Pro Gaff, Pro Artist Tape, and our favorite balloon tape, UGlu, which helps you create amazing balloon arrangements and decorations in less time. You can save 5% on UGlu when you buy directly from Havin A Party using code BRIGHT at checkout. All right, welcome back once again, Brianna. We have a very fun episode. I like episodes like this because I feel like there is so much info packed in. We are doing an Ask Me Anything, and you and I have both collected questions. You collected on an Instagram live. I had some from stories. So this episode is going to be all over the place, but I am just going to pepper you with questions. Are you ready?
I am so ready for this.
And this, people should be familiar. You have been on the podcast this month. This is your month that you are sponsoring. So I think it is time we hear about you and your business. And that's what this whole episode is going to be. So let's jump into what I think is a really, really difficult question. What would you do different? Your business is obviously thriving. You're doing really well, but what would you do different?
Oh my gosh, that's an incredible question.
That's a good one.
That is such a good question. Okay, what would I do different? I signed a 5-year lease on the studio that we're in now, right when we first opened. We grew out of this space within 3 months of being here.
Oh, wow.
So we now have 2 studios, and our overhead is quite high because we did that. I also have a shared office here, and where I run most of the business part of the business, and I'm having so many phone calls, and I literally have a meeting on the hour every single hour today from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. So when I'm here, it's almost as though I'm a distraction. And what the design team is doing, they're a distraction as well. And our other studio is more of a warehouse. There's, it's not heat there. There's no Wi-Fi or anything. So if I could do anything differently, it's that I would have been more confident about getting a larger space at the very beginning.
Cool. Do you regret the 5-year lease?
I don't regret it. It was really the only option. And where we are on Cape Cod, there's not a lot of commercial space for lease. So I kind of had to take what we could get. I don't regret it, but I do wish that we had more space.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. All right. Next question. What are your thoughts on opening retail space? So this is kind of along those same lines, but you're not retail, right?
Okay. So when we first opened the studio, which was actually 4 years ago yesterday, we launched it. I opened it with retail in the front. So there were probably 400 square feet in the front where we had retail. We had Mary Mary, we had piñatas, we had it was higher end, but really, really cute stuff. And my thought was I could subsidize part of this lease, this contract with retail. But like I said, we grew out of it so quickly that it was like we couldn't get rid of everything fast enough. Also, the retail part of our studio, there's nothing that separates that besides a desk from the retail part and the entire design team. Okay. So as people were coming into our retail storefront, they were stopping the design team from their workflow because they were constantly getting interrupted.
Yeah.
So it was a very difficult situation for them to start to get into their creative flow. And then the doorbell would go off, they'd look up and there'd be someone there just asking general questions. They didn't even want to buy anything. So I realized pretty quickly, we need to shut down retail. This is not the space. We tried to be everything all at once for everyone. And it's just not what we ended up needing because the growth happened so fast.
Yeah, didn't work for you. Cool.
And the other thing I'll say about that is retail in your balloon business. If you're going to do that, I would suggest that you treat it as 2 almost separate businesses because you need a POS, you need like a purchase and sale system.
Right.
Sorry, I hate to use acronyms.
No, yeah, someone paying with someone paying with an invoice online, it's like totally different than someone standing in front of you trying to get a bouquet. You're like, oh, let me just invent a cash register real quick. Like it's not the same thing at all.
So now we have a cash register and we have standards by which the entire front of the studio needs to be opened up and it has to be cleaned, it has to be dusted. We have to have certain items ready, brochures and everything printed out, updated, laminated, and ready to talk to people about. So really, if you're going to do that, I suggest you treat it as a complete separate business. And if you do get that studio space and you're finding that it may be beneficial to have retail, maybe do that after instead of front.
Yeah.
So after a year, say, you know what, we're going to add retail because there's a demand for it.
Yeah, yeah. You hit on my biggest reason, and we'll talk about pickups next. But I have a very small studio, but I was like, people might as well just come here and pick up. But keeping it clean was the hardest part. Like picking up on a Thursday, Friday, all the balloons for the whole weekend are shoved in my shop. There's stuff everywhere. Bags are packed, bases are out. And I didn't think about that in terms of people coming in there and like seeing that insane mess. So for me, I was
Exactly.
like, I can't maintain this. Like this is awful and wasting me so much time. So that leads into the next question about grab and go services. Let's just kind of expand that to pickups in general. Do you offer those? And what do you find are the positives and negatives?
We do offer pickups. So we have order minimums where you have to spend a certain amount of money for us to even offer a delivery install service.
Okay. Can I
So
ask what that is? Can I be a little nosy?
yeah, we just updated it. It's right on our website. Um, in 2025, one of our biggest goals is that we're doing completely transparent pricing because it's saving us from a lot of back and forth with potential customers, with
Mm-hmm.
prospects. So Monday through Thursday, it's $400, and then Friday through Sunday, it's $650
Okay.
plus delivery, install, and potentially breakdown.
Yeah. Okay. Totally reasonable.
So what I realized last year was because we have instilled these order minimums, there was really a part of our clientele that we had built up at the very beginning that we were excluding from being able to shop with Elevated Impressions. So we launched grab and go services. And then originally that started, and this was just last year in July, I believe. We started with garlands, and I think we started with 12 different designs. And now we're not just doing garlands, we're also doing some helium bouquets or fun little arrangements that people can just stop in and pick up seasonally. So for Valentine's Day, we have like 4 different helium options, and then we have all of our Valentine's Day grab and go options. So those are available Wednesday, Thursday, Friday between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. for pickup.
And those have to be pre-ordered. You're not having people walk in and like choose their colors off a wall.
Nope, not at all.
Okay.
Everything's done online. And it's like 3 clicks. I'm really big on 3 clicks. Like you do make 3 clicks and hit pay and then you're all set.
Yeah, yeah. No, I love that. I just had that same issue as a consumer the other day and I was like, I'm trying to buy this thing and it's hard. Like I want this really bad and I cannot buy it. So people who are kind of on the fence for sure aren't going to buy it. Like I think that's such a good idea, the 3-click rule. I've never heard that and I love it.
Yeah, make it as absolutely easy as possible for everyone.
Yeah, even simple things like I'm a big Denise Duffield Thomas fan. She's a podcaster. And she said, even your call to action, like don't be cutesy, just like make it pay now, check out, buy here. Don't be like, start the party. Like, let's get going. She's just like,
You're like, I'm
don't,
just starting.
yeah, like just stop confusing people and have it be like, pay now, buy here. Just like
Yes.
make a picture of a shopping cart. So don't overthink it. Let's keep talking about pricing. That is one of the questions. Talk more about your transparent pricing. But the question is, how do you figure that out? How are you calculating your pricing?
Okay, so I believe in a two-pronged approach to pricing. The first prong is that you do your calculator that you have internally for every single item. So that's just your price calculator. You have to know how much every balloon costs. You have to know how much your stand costs. You have to know what your overhead is. You have to know how much you need to cover by selling that specific item to know how much profit you're going to make on it so that you can actually sell it. So you need to do that internal price calculator for you and your business, number one.
Mm-hmm.
Number two is market value. So I believe in having competitive but respectful pricing compared to other people that make up the balloon market in Massachusetts and New England. So I have these relationships with other balloon business owners, and we do this funny thing where we'll just like send a picture of something and be like price check, and then they'll send back in 2 seconds how much
Yeah.
they would probably sell it for. And I have to say, we're usually within around $50 or $100. Yeah, it's usually like a 15% span either way. It's never way off.
Yeah.
Um,
Do you ever
so
feel like
that's,
you
really
calculate the
helpful.
price and then you're like, oh, it's worth like triple? Like, do you ever, sometimes I calculate the price of a column and it's like, don't sell it for less than $40. It's like, well, yeah, I'm not going to sell a column for less than $125, but like sometimes the material fee or like what you're actually calculating is so low that you can bump it way up because of perceived value. How does that not just turn into like a guessing game? Is that where your friends come in handy, you think?
That's exactly. They are kind of the reality check for
Mm-hmm.
that's the fair market value within the industry,
Yeah,
right?
okay, got it. Got it.
So that's saying we as the balloon professionals know that only we can create this item and have it look the way that it looks because we are the professionals. So we need to charge for that.
Yeah, and then sometimes it's the other way around. It's like, I can't make this for less than $200, but like no one's going to spend more than 300. Like people don't understand
For sure.
how expensive chrome balloons are or links or like, oh, this is four different sizes. So that's four different bags of balloons that I don't carry. Like sometimes things look like they should be less. So pricing is really hard, but I just kind of stay away from those items. Personally, I don't want to sell something that looks like it's less than it costs.
Pricing is difficult. The more that we do it, the better we're getting at it. And then just creating the same exact item. So we have easy order guides. Again, if you go on our website and you go to order guides, you'll see a seasonal easy order guide on there. And those are designed to have more aggressive pricing because it's supposed to be easy.
Hmm.
So if you're having a Valentine's Day event, you can go on and there's 4 pages of Valentine's Day decor. Choose from there, let us know what you want. And then we don't need to do all of that back and forth that we would with a prospect that is just like a fresh prospect. But we've got columns on there and they're just made in different colors than and with different designs than we would another column. So
Hmm.
like we can just change it over to St. Patrick's Day and now we know exactly what to charge for it.
Yeah, and I think one of the things I've learned over the last few years, just kind of listening to other people and podcasts in other industries, is like this idea of fast. Like I love your idea, the 3 clicks, make it easy, buy now. Like these are your options. That doesn't have to equate to like bargain. If anything, it should be the opposite. Like I think the example in the book I read was like Jimmy John's sandwiches, and they were like their whole thing is convenience, super fast convenient sandwiches. And people think like, oh, but a sandwich, I mean, that's cheap. And they're like, no, $9 for a sandwich is not inexpensive. Like that is a premium. Or you think Starbucks, you order ahead, it's waiting for you. Like there's a reason you're paying $7 for a latte and not making it at home. So I think fast and cheap are actually opposite. If it's super fast and super convenient, I think the price can go up a little bit.
Yeah, and also think about those words. Like when it comes to marketing and when it comes to your business brand and name and reputation, we don't want to be known as fast and cheap.
Hmm.
Like internally, we can be like, this is fast and cheap and it's profitable, but we don't want people on the outside, any prospects or customers, to look at us that way.
Right.
We are elevated impressions. So we
Yeah.
want them to feel like, oh, okay, this is going to elevate our event. Yep, we're going to pay $175 for that all heart, no latex column.
Yeah. And instead of fast and cheap, it's like effortless and accessible or
Ye-
something else,
Exactly,
use those words.
exactly.
I mean, because that's what people pay for convenience. As I get older, I have learned that as I've gotten older and have had more money, I always pay for convenience. I think it's harder when you're 21. You're not going to pay for those upgrades. You have no money. You're barely filling your car with gas. But the more I've grown, I've had a reliable job, I have kids. I'm like, yeah, I am going to pay extra for this because it makes it easier.
100%.
Like I am gonna pay extra for my Walmart groceries to be ready today because I need them now. Like I could save $5 and get them in 3 days, but That's not an option. Like I want them now.
100%.
Cool. All right, let's keep going because we have a lot of good ones to get through. Let's talk about organization. How do you run your inventory system if you have one?
This is a wonderful question. So, when we first moved into this studio 4 years ago, I realized that quite quickly that having a growing team, a growing studio, that the inventory system, which was an Excel spreadsheet that we had, wasn't working for everyone. So as you
Hmm.
grow your business from a solopreneur and you start to build a team, you have to start building out systems so that information is accessible to everyone at all times, not just to you, or else you will be bogged down constantly with these questions. So I did a little research in the industry with the people that I knew at that time and just asked them what they did for inventory. Realized quite quickly that there is no inventory system that works for everyone. So I made one. So we had a Shopify platform. What we did was we actually purchased, and I'm not sure if you still offer them, we purchased all of the color templates that you offered at one point in
Oh
time. So
yeah.
every single color, we used those sheets, dropped them into Canva, created a SKU number for every single balloon that we have. So
Wow.
we have, they just did a full inventory 2 weeks ago. We have 2,000 SKUs.
Oh my
So we
gosh.
treat our balloon inventory exactly as Gap treats their clothing inventory. So I can walk around, I can scan a SKU, and it will pop up. I know exactly how many I have of that item. If I'm working from home and I sell a last minute bouquet, I can go right into our system and I can search for Mickey Mouse. And I know exactly what I have for Mickey Mouse balloons.
Wow.
Um,
So what is
yeah,
the technology you're using to actually keep track of that? Like you say you scan it with what?
we use the Shopify platform. So
Oh, gotcha. Okay, it's in
we've
there.
actually set it up as a store. Like
Okay.
we are selling inventory from our store, but our inventory is actually balloons.
Okay. Oh, interesting. Wow. How long did that take?
It took about 6 to 9 months internally, and then we have three other balloon businesses that actually use it. So we put
Hmm.
it into beta testing with them, got some information from them, and kind of did our own tweaks internally. But it's something that we have, and it's an asset to the business, and it's something that we could definitely teach at some point. But it's just looking at how do other businesses do their business.
Yeah. And I think outside of the balloon world is what I keep learning. As my business has grown, it's like the solution I need isn't always in the balloon world. Sometimes no one's doing it a way that I want. But if I look at, florists, they are. Or if I look at, something else, they are as well. Like it doesn't have to be what a balloon person is doing. It can be what a store is doing or, someone in your local networking group. I feel like sometimes we forget that there are options outside the balloon world. So that's cool.
100%. Yeah. And that's what I do with almost everything. I just look at what other people are doing that are successful at it. I learn about it. I ask questions and then I kind of decide. Now, we came up with the inventory system in that way. There were two other ways that we tried it that it did not work. We tried to set something up through QuickBooks so that we could track every single, once we placed an order, we were able to track what that would take out of our inventory, and it was a mess.
Oh, okay.
And then there was an inventory tracking platform that we used as well.
Was it
And
Sortly?
I think it was.
Yeah, I heard about Sortly from other balloon people. It's really expensive though.
Did not work the way that we needed it to
Hmm.
work. So this is what we do. It works incredibly well.
Cool.
And yeah.
Cool. What other tips do you have for staying organized? I can see behind you. You have like little bags hanging on hangers. What's in those? Like through the door. Are those prepped jobs?
So the hanging bags, actually, we hang all of our balloons, and except for if it's an
Oh.
overflow inventory. So honestly, it's like shopping for balloons. So if
It's
you
like on
have
a
a
coat
job,
rack. It's like multi-tiered of like closet racks, and then there's just like hangers with balloons. That's amazing.
yes, every single balloon has a bag, and on that bag, it has a QR code. And then we hang the bags that are working, what we call working bags. So those are the ones that have been opened. And once you pull for a job, you're like, I need these three colors and these three sizes. You almost go shopping on the balloon wall. You pull them off the wall, put them on your own rolling rack, and bring them over to your station
That's
and work
so
with those
smart.
balloons.
I've never seen that. That's such a good, like inexpensive way to get a ton of inventory up where you can see it and out of bins and boxes. I love that.
Yep, thank you so much. And the people that see it really love it as well.
Yeah. Are they just
I think
actual hangers? Are they like the hangers with clips that you'd put pants on?
they're actual pant hangers.
That's amazing. That's so smart.
Oh,
Love it.
thank you. Yeah, I'll take a picture and we can drop it somewhere so that
Yeah,
the listeners can
absolutely.
see what we're actually talking about.
Absolutely. What other things do you have in there? Are you like all of us and going to IKEA and finding storage solutions, or did you have someone in to help you, or do you have more factory style shelving? Like what other organizational things do you feel like you've cracked the code on?
I do believe in everyone having their own workspace. I know that it's a luxury to be able to offer that, but I think that everyone has their own tools that they really rely on working with, and it differs from person to person.
Mm,
So everyone has a standing desk, and the standing desks move up and down because it cannot be understated how rough working with balloons is on your body.
yeah.
So I'm constantly thinking about the team that's working, that they're not slouched over all day, that they actually have a desk and a workstation that rises to their height that they're comfortable with, so their shoulders and arms aren't aching at night. Um, we only have three chairs here, and there's a reason for that. They're at the sit down desks, and it's because I always say I don't want people sitting on the job. Like there's really nothing that you need to sit for when working with balloons unless you need an accommodation.
Yeah,
So
I don't think I have any chairs out in my studio. If I do, I'm like, get this out of here. Like kick it on the ground. It's just in the way.
exactly. We have lockers for our teammates. So everyone that's on the team has a locker. They're allowed to decorate those with stickers and make them their own.
And real quick, remind us how many team members you have.
We're in flux right now. So I actually have an interview with someone right after this. We're at 7 team members right
Okay.
now, but we're also in our off season. So I'm hiring for peak season in the next month.
Okay,
So
cool.
I think this year we'll go up to, just because of a new thing that we have rolling out, I think we'll go up to probably 10.
Nice. That's a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
It
cool.
is. It is, but we need them. So
Yeah. Yeah, neat. All right. Let's talk about some of your, I guess, teaching, traveling, things outside of your immediate business because you have started teaching, you go to events, you have a lot of balloon friends, and we got a lot of questions about that. I think people are curious about kind of behind the curtain of the instructor world. So are you cool answering some of those?
absolutely
Okay.
happy to.
Okay, so this one's pretty all encompassing, but how do you manage all of that? How do you manage business, teaching, traveling, and your home life? Do you have any sort of like system or hard rules so that it all doesn't all bleed into everything else and take over your entire life?
Yeah, absolutely. I first, number one, I have a partner, my husband, who balloons aren't his dream, and having a
Hmm.
small business wasn't his dream. It was mine. Having an entrepreneur as a partner and as a wife was not his dream.
Yeah.
It was mine. So the number one thing that I can recommend is even if you're starting a business or you're looking to take your business full time, where it's just a hobby, and you have a partner, a husband, a wife, that you guys get on the same page with what this entrepreneurial and event life will look like,
Hmm.
because it's very different than a 9 to 5. And he and I had definitely some growing pains through that. But that support is absolutely 100% integral to being able to do anything within this industry. Um, so how do I handle it all? I am a crazy type A. I have lists, I have a task system, I have calendars, my family is scheduled, I am scheduled. I do 4 calendars a week. I do the team calendar for their schedules. I do the delivery install breakdown schedule. I do my daughter's schedule for the entire family so everyone knows where she is and who's in charge of her. And then I do a schedule for my husband and myself of where we need to be and what's on our calendar, if it's daddy daughter dance or whatever it is.
Yeah. It's a
So
lot.
we are a highly scheduled family.
Do you have
Um,
that in like a Google Calendar or what is your actual
no, I
strategy?
manually go in and do it.
Hmm.
So yeah, Mondays, it's probably a 2-hour project.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. But it's part of what everyone relies on, right? I
Yeah.
have multiple teams that support me, that support the business, that support our home, that rely on these schedules so that they know how to do what they need to do. And they rely on that and I rely on them, so they deserve to know exactly what it is.
Yeah.
I
Great.
can't live in my head and have them try to guess. That just no one's happy when that happens.
Yeah. Yeah. You
Go
can
ahead.
lump this in with this question because I feel like it fits with your traveling and teaching. But the next question is, how do you know so many people in the balloon world?
I don't know. I think I genuinely believe that people are like innately good. And then the more that I started to meet people from the balloon world, I started to realize that not only are people like good, but people in the balloon world are really special people.
Hmm.
And I think that I've found more of, oh no, I'm getting emotional. I think I found more of my true identity within the people that build this industry. And it's been nothing but a gift to me. So it kind of makes me eager to meet more people and to learn more about them and to get inspiration from these individuals that are just doing really cool things that they might not be able to share with anyone else because no one kind of understands what we do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it is that sense of community and it's that sense of understanding that you might be a person that needs a click to feel like you can have an identity within this industry. I don't. The click is the industry to me. I think it's just magical and wonderful. And I see people doing things that are beyond my wildest dreams. And I'm so freaking happy for them. And
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just a very special space for me.
Yeah. Well, great. Well, let's take a quick break and then let's come back with some more questions. Balloon Pros, if you haven't stocked up yet, now's the time. Havin A Party Wholesale just launched something big. Anagram latex balloons are here. You already trust Anagram foils, and now their high quality latex is ready to take your designs to the next level. And I have a new code for you. Get 5% off orders over $200 using the code PODCAST at checkout. Don't miss out on the latest and greatest in balloons. Shop now at havinaparty.com and keep creating those amazing installs with the best supplies in the industry. All right, welcome back. I love this question. What is the best investment you've made in your business?
Professional inflators,
Mm.
hands down, no question about it.
Do you have
Inflators,
a favorite?
Air Force 4.
Yeah, me too. So fast.
Yep, the Air Force, it's so fast and I think it's just coming from when I started the business, it was during COVID and there was no education happening.
Mm.
And so everything for me was 100% self-taught. Everything. So I had the pink inflator, which was great and did its job because I was like, oh my gosh, this thing's amazing. But then when I actually got the Air Force, I was like, okay, I get it now. I get it.
Yeah.
It was like every step I made, I was like, oh, this is how people make money doing this. This is so much faster, of course.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. That's totally my workforce or workhorse as well. I love it. Um, any tips on growing to get larger jobs? You have some fairly large jobs, and I think for a lot of people those seem unimaginable. Are there any real action steps you can give them to work towards those larger jobs?
Yes. I dreamt about when I was operating the business by myself from the basement of my home. I dreamt about having the opportunities to do larger jobs for larger clients for years. In hindsight, what I realize is if I had gotten any of those opportunities that I was dreaming about, I was not ready. I
Mm.
wasn't prepared. I didn't have the infrastructure to be able to support that. And I didn't have the community to be able to rely on people to help with it. So I would say be realistic with yourself. If you were to get those jobs and you really think you're ready, how would you support it? Do you have insurance for your small business? So that when you get that call, you're able to have a certificate of insurance created on the spot because they want you in 2 days.
Yeah.
If it's a huge job and you're even able to sell it, who do you have that can help you fulfill that job?
Right, right.
So really think about number one, having the business to support the larger jobs. Don't just dream about it, do it. Set your business up so that you can do it when those opportunities come. Because if you're able to execute one of those opportunities the right way, they will inevitably lead to more larger opportunities.
Well, and you kind of hit on this one a little bit in this answer, but do you have to have an LLC to get corporate clients?
You don't have to have an LLC to get corporate clients. However,
You should
most
have
of
an
the
LLC.
properties, however, most of the properties for I think all of our corporate clients that we work with require a certificate of insurance.
Yeah.
Also, just to protect yourself and your business, you should have insurance.
Yeah, you should be an LLC and you should have insurance and you should have a business banking account. And that all kind of hinges on the LLC because it gets you that EIN, which is what is that? Employment identification number.
Employment
Because like
identification number.
essentially
And
that's
then you
like your
can get a
social
credit card.
Yeah,
Like
right.
you can't get a bank account or a credit card without your employee EIN. So without your EIN.
Yeah, so
So
this
you
is
have
a
to,
short answer for both of us just being like, get the LLC. It's like $100. Just get
guys,
it.
legitimize your business. Get the
Yeah.
LLC, please. Get the insurance.
Yes. All right, let's take one more quick break. And then, since you have already answered our final three questions, we're going to go into the lightning round of really quick 1 or 2 word answer questions all over the place. Sound good?
Okay.
Balloon Pros, if you've been putting off your website because you're too busy inflating, installing, or making magic for your clients, you're not alone. I know so many of you have been stuck between DIYing your site, struggling with templates that don't quite fit, or feeling like a fully custom website is out of reach. That's where Courtney Lynette Creative Co. comes in. Courtney is a web designer who has worked with tons of balloon stylists, and she gets the unique needs of your business. She's created Website in a Day, a streamlined process that gives you a high-end, custom quality website and branding without the stress or high cost. In just one day, you'll walk away with a beautiful, strategic website designed to help you book more clients, showcase your work, and stand out in a crowded market. Plus, branding is included, so your entire online presence looks polished and professional from top to bottom. And because you're a Bright Balloon listener, you can get $100 off your Website in a Day package. Just mention the podcast when you book. Don't wait another season to get your website working for you. Head to CourtneyLynette.com/bright-balloon to learn more, or click the link in the show notes wherever you're listening. All right, welcome back. I have how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 questions that you should be able to get through in like 3 minutes. So not long answers. Just don't think too hard. I'm curious what your thoughts are. Are you ready?
Ready.
Okay. Who's your primary balloon distributor?
Rainbow balloons. Love them. Woburn. Yes, rainbow.
What balloons do you primarily use in your business? Brand.
Metallics and Protects. And
All
Tough
right.
Techs.
Will you be teaching at Float?
Great question.
Are you going to be at Float?
I will be at Float.
All right. All right. Your favorite color?
Oh, balloon color?
Yeah.
Sea glass.
Oh, interesting. This was one that I didn't ask earlier, but what's your favorite color of blush? Someone specifically had that question. Not too orangey blush.
Oh my gosh, let me get back to you on that one. I'll go out and pull it from the rack.
Okay.
And look. Yeah. We've gone all around on that. That's why I don't have a straight answer.
How about your least favorite thing to make?
Least favorite balloon thing to make?
Yeah, like when you get it, you're like, ugh.
260 squiggles.
Oh, okay. What do you add those on? Bouquets or just whenever?
Everything.
Yeah.
Everything and nothing. But they're hard on my hands. So
Yeah. How about favorite balloon artist? Is there anyone when you scroll on Instagram every single time you're like, ugh, so good?
yes. Leanne,
Yes, my balloon obsession. Me too.
She is unbelievable.
She's like a god. I hope she listens. I don't know if she does, but every time I just like screenshot it and send it to a group text, and I'm like, are you freaking kidding me with this? It's so good.
Anyone that asks me, I tell them the same thing. I'm like, this person is, I don't know how she's flying under the radar, but I don't think she is anymore.
She's so good. I think she
Yeah.
just keeps her head down and does balloons instead of trying to, be at all the events. And she was at Float. But gosh, if she's teaching a class,
Also,
I will be there.
I will be there. Oh, I think she just launched an online class.
Ooh, I will be there then.
I think she did. And also, where she lives. She's in Aspen, I believe, Colorado,
Yeah.
Aspen. And some of the installations that she does are just
She has to like go up in those gondola things to get to the hotels. I saw a picture and I was like, are you for real in like a ski lift right now?
Yeah, she's unbelievable. If you do not follow her, start following her. She's great.
My other one is Paradise Balloons. She does like all foil. Have you seen her stuff?
I don't think so, but I'm going to look.
Put your diaper on and start following her because it's so good.
So ready.
It's like all foil outdoor installations and I'm like, how is that not all popped? I don't understand. Like,
oh yeah, I got to see this.
These two women they're wizards. I don't understand. All right. If you could only make one thing forever, what would it be?
Crazy columns.
Do you sell a lot of those?
Yeah. The profit margin on a crazy column is unbelievable.
I just made one. I mean, it's not for the first time, but I always forget they exist. And I just made some the other day and they looked so impressive. They were so fun and they looked so good.
They work for everything. You can make them for a birthday. You can make them for corporate. You can put a vinyl on it.
I did like a little string of pearl between them for Valentine's Day and it looks so cute.
Cute. That's super cute. Yeah. Those every day. I could sell those for every single reason.
Yeah. Okay, last question. Favorite thing in your shop? You already said your inflators. Is there anything else that you're like, I can't live without this thing?
My team. And I know it's so corny, but honestly, when you walk into our studio, someone smiles at you. They're like, hi, how are you? Like our team is special. They are special people. This is a special space. And yeah, I couldn't live without them. They're wonderful and I just adore them.
That's awesome. And well, I guess one final question. Where can we see you next? I know we both got questions about, are you teaching anytime soon? Is anything coming up? Will you be anywhere in person where we can meet you and learn from you?
I have I'm trying to think about when this is going to air. So when this airs, it will be announced and known that I will be at the Vitalik Balloonathon. I'll be running the decor team again, and I will also be moderating the panels.
Great.
So that will be open knowledge. And that is all I can confirm right now. That will be known in March.
And that is the event that's happening in Chicago this summer, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Cool. Well, I will be there because it's not too far from me, only about an hour or so. So I'm excited.
Yay. Oh, also I will be I'll be at HiCo St. Louis with Vitalik as well on April 9th.
Cool. Yep. All right. Well, thank you so much for another great episode. And we will wrap up your sponsored month next week with our last interview. And you're announcing something new and something exciting, right?
Something big, something really big that nobody knows about except you.
Yeah. All right. So tune in next week and we will hear what Bri has up her sleeve. And I can't wait. I will chat with you then.
Thank you so much, Sarah.
Thanks for listening. As usual, I tried to keep it bright and light. Our presenting sponsor is 17 Hats, the CRM I use to cut the chaos and manage my entire balloon business. From the lead capture form on my website to workflows and email templates, invoicing and grab-and-go garland automated bookings, it's all powered by 17 Hats, the best customer relationship management system for balloon businesses. There's even a 50% off coupon code waiting for you in the show notes wherever you're listening. I'll see you next week in another episode.